Thank you, Ken. I am glad to be here for at least a couple of reasons. I was here last year, actually, to introduce Carol LeBeau when she was circulated. And it's not the right, it's not circle size, I'm pretty sure that. At any rate, the person who was playing the role of Ken Kramer introduced me saying, we should get Lee into this group while he's still with us. Well, so it's a year later, and I'm pretty happy to be here. And, but we'll not tempt fate. Let's get right on with this. Bob Lawrence got his first taste of television as a contestant in The Dating Game, which you may remember that show, sort of like The Bachelorette without the hot tub. Now, he wasn't chosen by the lovely harlot, but he did get 6 pairs of polyester Hager slacks. Bob came to Channel 10 in 1982 with a mustache, a motorcycle, and a Porsche. And what else do you need? 1982, when the big attraction at Comic-Con was David Lochrane's Star Trike. Channel 10's slogan was, now is the time, Channel 10 is the place. We've said that a few times. The primetime hits were T.J. Hooker, Love Boat, Laverne and Shirley, Happy Days. This was a few months before there was a KUSI. Bob was hired to produce the midday news, and later the 5 o'clock. When he came, we became fast friends. We found we had several things in common, not the least of which we both had to work with Mike Biltusi. Mike would have you believe he was in charge, and he had to suffer we were there to make his life miserable. And if I'm not remembered for anything else, that's good enough. Bob produced the midday, later the 5 o'clock news, and one day someone let him go outside. He discovered sunshine and fresh air, and it was his first understanding that there was more to television news than a cup of coffee, a pack of cigarettes, and a manual typewriter. He convinced Paul Sands to let him report, and he turned out to be pretty good at it. Well, that's not true. He turned out to be very good at it. Bob is a first-rate journalist and a great storyteller. No matter what the story, big or small, whether the apocryphal water-skiing squirrel or the political conventions, the Super Bowls, election night at Golden Hall, the around-the-clock coverage at the wildfires, the start of the war in Iraq, Bob is the go-to guy at Channel 10 and has been since he first picked up a notepad. Some of us have moved to different jobs at different stations or different cities. Bob has stayed at Channel 10 for 28 years because his job has changed. And Channel 10 has changed. He has, by my count, trained 5 general managers and 9 news directors so far. A lot has changed in 28 years. Bob no longer has the mustache, the motorcycle, the Porsche, or the polyester pants. But some things have not changed, and that's the real reason I am glad to be here today, to introduce my dear friend, Bob Lawrence.